Hello, this is Malorian. This will now be my second game of the Steamroller tournament, and now I'm up against Zaal again. Alright, so I've never played Zaal before, and now all of a sudden I'll be playing him twice in a row. But, that's not a bad thing for my part. I think that's fantastic, especially because this list here has even more infantry than the last one. So with me being anti-infantry, that's great. I just took my Bethayne list again, and I'm really liking my chances, except for the fact that this player here is one of those Grotz guys. So, very well experienced, has been playing for quite a while. They go to tons of tournaments, so they really know their stuff. The one thing that really was a little bit of my favor, I thought, is that at the very beginning, he's kind of just let it slip out that he's not really used to playing against Bethayne. So I think that's actually a little advantage on my side that in, tournament play that you don't see ever like people going with Bethayne very often just because she has a lot of really hard counters as opposed to someone like Saren, which is a lot stronger. Anyway, in this mission here, this is the sacrifice one, so you have to control that big zone, have somebody touching the flag, it explodes, do that twice, you win. But it's going to be a pretty hard one to do, especially with all the infantry he has, so it's probably going to come down to caster kill. And again, just to kind of really go over what I have here, I got the Black Frost Shard, Belphegor, Bethayne, Carnivian, Scythian, Raic, Shepherd, and Hex Hunters. And on his side here, you can see it's a very well painted army. He now has 2 full units of these immortals. He has I can't remember if they're called basilisks or whatever. He has those little crays or whatever they're called. But the main thing is he has no heavies. So I think that's fantastic. Of course, with his feet, he can be hitting a lot stronger. But all of these things here, all these ancients are all farther up and advanced deployed. So really, maybe what I can do is go up there, hit him with some eruption of spines to really knock out the immortals. And with my hex hunters and my other stuff, knock out these ancients. And he shouldn't really have much to counter with. So I'm feeling pretty good, other than the fact that I know that my opponent is way more experienced than I am. Alright, so I get first turn, rushing up, same thing, Ashen Veil and my Hex Hunters. The plan here just to kind of clear out whatever's in the zone. And meanwhile, my heavies are a little bit undecided. I make sure to have them in the center so they can go either way that I need. And to begin with, I'm going to have Belphegor go down to the left side, because with him declaring a whole unit there, I know that my Black Frost Shard can't handle him on their own. So I plan to blast him fast and then bring him back to deal with the other unit. His turn, a whole bunch are running, and you can't really see it. There's one ancient on the other side of this house here. He has some spells go up, one of them being on the immortals here on the left, that if they ever hit anything, they get boosted attack and damage, but then they die, so that'll be a little bit dangerous, but I plan to kill them off anyway. This is my turn 2, and it's going to be my feet. And this one here, I kind of started going balls out, and then I had to kind of hold back. So really how it started is Belphegor going off to the left, then Bethayne channeling through, feeding, and doing 2 of the Eruption of Spines, and that pretty much just deletes the Immortals over here, all but 1. So then the Black Frost Shard comes over, kills the Ancient that was over here, kills the Bone Swarm that jumps out, and then after that, I started moving with my Hex Hunters, but the problem was that he actually stayed a little bit stayed a little bit farther back, so I wasn't going to get a whole bunch of shots off. So what I did is I moved a few here that were able to shoot the Ancient on the other side of the house, kill him, kill the Bone Swarm, and then the rest are just kind of holding back to counter whatever he brings in. And then I'm also making sure that I have my Scythian and my Carnivian over here to counter as well, so a really strong turn. But yeah, he has a pretty strong one in return. So one of the things I didn't really remember, because in the last game it didn't really come up, but a lot of these guys have the Vengeance move. And that also includes this little special ancient guy with the 2 big long swords. And so he was able to get into a good position, and then after he had some other guys go up and kill some of my Hex Hunters, he was able to go after my Scythian and kill him. And that really was not part of the plan. I knew I'd lose some Hex Hunters, but I didn't plan to lose my heavies this early, so that's not really good. Otherwise with Immortals, 2 of them ran up, the rest are going up to counter, so that's not really good. And then he had one that went to do a little big chop out of Belphegor, but then he automatically died because of the spell on him. So not really liking this, but hopefully with my counterattack onto this, I'll be back to a good position again. My turn 3 then, and on the left I move up Belphegor, I put up his Animus just to make sure that nothing starts vengeancing and moving back over this way to go after him anymore. And then I start using the Black Frost Shard to try and kill his little Cray, whatever thing it's called here. But man, I mean, he had really high defense 18 or something like that. I mean, it was armor 18, but really the main thing is I did almost nothing. So after that, and wanting to get a little bit of results done, I started moving my Hex Hunters and starting attacking the guys in front of me. So I killed 2 of the Immortals and did some damage to this guy here right in front of me, but not enough to kill him. And unfortunately, because I didn't move the one there on the far left, it blocked my Carnivean. So I couldn't really finish off that guy. Didn't know what to do. And at this point, because I'd lost my Scythian, things weren't going as well as I'd hoped. I really was looking for a really good push to really try to help things out. So I moved up Bethayne to do an Eruption of Spines, and it killed all of like 2 guys, so not too much. And I was actually kind of contemplating here moving up the Carnivean to grab Bethayne and throw her farther back, but in the end I thought, I'll get away with it. But yeah, in the end it wasn't good. It didn't start off well that he asked me what my defense and armor was on Bethayne. Even with the spiky growth on her, it's not going to be enough. He just went and killed some of the guys up there in front to clear up a path. Zaal went up, blasted her a few times, and I was dead. So victory to Zaal, and this one here, I was just kind of feeling a little bit stupid, because on my feat turn I had done very well, and I'd say the very first thing I shouldn't have done is I knew that he was going to have a good strong counterattack, and yet I had my Scythian up there, right? There was no reason for him to be within 4 inches of my front line. He should have been farther back, waiting to counter after something happened to my Hex Hunters. So I really just kind of threw him away, which is fairly stupid. And then after that, just really the way I handled it, there was no reason why I need to try and take action right away. He has no shooting. I had lots of time. I could have switched Belphegor back over to the right flank and changed things around, but I just didn't. I decided to push a little bit too hard, way too hard with Bethayne, and got killed. So anyway, I didn't feel too bad. I mean, here I am. I was up against this Grotz guy anyway. He probably might have found a way to beat me anyway with whatever tricks he had up his sleeve, and really just looking forward to the next game and seeing which way it's going to go.